Since the time that Pinball FX2 was unveiled on the Xbox 360 late in 2010, it has seen some great tables from BioLab and Secrets of the Deep to later releases like Fantastic Four and Captain America, and now Zen Studios has collaborated with Twisted Pixel to bring the Splosion Man experience to their pinball collection with what may be their most enjoyable table since Spider-Man. For those of you who don't know, the Splosion Man is a pink bundle of energy that was accidentally created by a bunch of scientists during the party celebrating Splosion Man's capture. She uses her unique Splode talent to escape traps, defeat enemies, and detonate explosive barrels, all the while collecting shoes, busting a move, and spouting off random pop culture references. The game, like its predecessor, has been hailed as challenging, fun, and has been enjoyed by tons of Xbox fans for its quirky style. And with all of that going from Splosion Man's first outing, it's really an amazing feat that Zen Studios has been able to capture that same spirit and translate it into a pinball table. Right off the bat, the table screams Splosion Man with its iconic theme song and heroine large and in your face. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the table looks pretty nice with the same art and pink and purple highlights that players have come to expect when playing the original game. Now, unlike a lot of Zen tables, the difficulty seems to have been dialed back on this one, so don't be surprised if you find Splosion Man as the first table you end up beating in your Pinball FX2 collection. Don't worry, it's not a breeze by any means, but the 5 different game modes including Unbreakable Walls, Electric Beam Hazard, Rollerbot Patrol, Barrel Blast, and finally the battle with Mighty Eternal for the rescue of Splosion Man won't have you throwing your controller at the wall anytime soon. Sure, you'll find the modes are challenging enough on their own, but they get much easier with pretty straightforward ways to activate ball savers, kickbacks, and extra balls. And as you continue improving your game, your sights will undoubtedly turn towards leaderboards, which seem to be where the real heart of the table lies. When I first started playing this table, I somehow managed a score of 884 million, which far and away destroys my previous record on Spider-Man of 116 million. In fact, I was so excited that I was ranked 11th overall that I had to message my high-score Horn brother Shady Milkman to share the news. Of course, since then I've dropped to about 90th place or something, but I'm still pretty happy with one of my first efforts. If you're thinking about going for a high score, Splosion Man offers you plenty of ways to do it, including, but not limited to, the 5 aforementioned stages, barrel bonuses worth a ton after each successful stage, and of course the illustrious multi-ball mode, which is ridiculously easy to engage, but very hard to raise the jackpot for. Now, even though my praise for the Splosion Man table is virtually limitless, there is one thing that proved rather irksome: the Destructoid zipline. Now, surprisingly, it's not the inclusion of a competing site's mascot that's got my goat, because it actually fits pretty well along with the Mighty Eternal. Instead, it's the associated zipline gameplay. So here's the deal. You hit the Destructoid head 4 times and then a zipline appears, which is familiar to Splosion Man fans. And at that time you have to hit a button at the right time to score points and successfully complete the event. The big problem is that upon first, second, and 12th glance on this thing, you'll have no idea when to push the button and you'll get the bad luck message signaling failure over and over again. It turns out that there's actually a little circle that the ball passes through during this event, and when it does, you have to push the button at that time. I tell you, this little circle may be one of the worst indicators in the history of modern video games. And the second problem here is that in those rare occurrences when you do activate the zipline, the ball flies out so fast that unless you're ready for it, you'll lose it a ton of times, just like Wolverine's fastball special on the Marvel table. But seriously, if that's my only complaint against this table, it surely will find a way on the top of your Pinball FX2 list, as it did mine. Without a doubt, Zen Studios and Twisted Pixel did a fabulous job with their Splosion Man table, making it challenging, unique, and of course,